sociological order to the culture we're living in now. Because we are raising up women to be men. And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you are climbing the corporate ladder, but we are losing our families. I know you can buy your own car. I know you can buy your own house. But until you create a need that I can pour into, I have no place in your life. So stop coming home bragging to me about how much you don't need me and wonder why I shy away. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk back to me this morning.
Woman who shows her mammary glands to the world. Masculine and or high value men don't, but guess what? Most of these women want those guys. But listen to me when I'm saying this. Making women act like men was a money play. I mean, they literally got 50% more of the population to join the workforce, thereby increasing total GDP or gross domestic product, and thereby increasing the amount of taxable income. Because I'm all for equality of opportunity when it comes to feminism, but there hasn't been enough introspection on the...
Right? You have to change. You have to soften up. You have to unbecome. You have to let go. You have to forgive. You have to heal. You have to do all, you have to open up. You have to be vulnerable. You have to tap into yourself. You have to know who you are, right? You have to become grounded. You have to realize that you can't do it on your own. Yes, you can be strong. You can be smart or whatever. When I say strong, what a real strength is, right? You're not a man. You are.
It's like we're in the battle of the sexes. Women don't like men. Men don't like women. We're at war with each other when we were really created for each other. And we've both come up with these phrases to undermine, or defense mechanism to undermine one another. Like this independent woman thing. It's a defense mechanism. Somewhere a woman realized that she's going to have to go through life by herself because her mate, who was created to do the heavy lifting for her, he's not going to be there. So she got to do it by herself. But I promise you, bro, I promise you, she don't want to do it by herself, man. She want to believe. It's in her natural makeup to want to give everything that she has to her Adam. She wants to believe in you. So be her reason to believe again.
Are resting in relationships that can't protect us. They can't protect your heart because they never intended to be faithful. They can't protect your mind because they never intend to build you up. They intended to suck you dry. They can't protect your peace because drama is their portion. They can't protect your oil because water and oil don't mix.
What the fuck it is, but you get online and you tell men to take care of women and they fucking go ballistic. They start throwing temper tantrums. They start throwing hissy fits, all kind of weird ass shit. What the fuck? Like, who raised you motherfuckers? Who raised you? Do your mothers come online and look at your comments in your posts? Like, what do your mothers think when they come reading this shit? Or do you like privatize it so your moms can't see it? Like, because I'm sure if they did, you would break their fucking hearts for them to know that they literally raised your father in his fucking whole stages. This is the crazy shit about life. It's amazing.
Out there that are watching this, can you understand why black men think the way they think and act the way they act in modern society, and why everything is such a big combative differences? You have to understand, you have a lot more good black men out there than you do bad black men. It's just that a lot of you have chosen to skip over the good guys and go right to the bad ones. You skipped over too many good guys and the bad ones have ruined you. So now you take what has happened from the bad guys out on all the good guys. That's the problem that's going on in the community. And it's because of these reasons right here. I guarantee you all these girls have had their shot at a good guy, right? but they skipped over him, went to the bad guy, and the bad guy is what's got him like this. But if you look at all of them, they all look like rats. Let's be honest now. These do look like hood rats. These don't look like good girls. They ain't the type that I'm gonna approach. We need to protect black women. Black women walk around like they can beat black men up, like they don't need a man, like they don't need protected. So why do these simps keep saying we need to protect black women? Black women need to go back and be black women and stop being a black man with a vagina. Like, let's just keep it funky. We have generations of women right now that are pretty much useless. You have to hope after this generation Z, there's a whole nother generation that comes up that sees life differently. But the way things are going now, men and women in general are splitting apart. The community is just an example of where everyone is going. You can expect other women to start doing this, not right away. It's going to be a while before you actually start seeing white women do stuff like this. But white women will embarrass their exes.
Yourselves out. I'm talking about actual success, understanding your value, understanding your identity, understanding the impact of your character, right? So social influence, I have the definition right here from Wikipedia, right? It says social influence comprises the ways in which individuals change their behavior to meet the demands of a social environment. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. Social influence comprises the ways in which individuals change their behavior to meet the demands of a social environment. Now, the reason why a man has to be successful in himself, whether or not he's living in a boarding house or he's living in a fucking mansion, he has to be successful within himself, meaning that he understands who he is and he understands the standard of character that he embodies, right? So when you meet him and you speak with him, you get an idea of his sense of self, right? When you do that, that's when you're able to have social influence, right? So when you meet a woman who is the individual, she will change her behavior to meet the demands, or in other words, the standards of the social environment. You understand? As a man, as a successful man, you are the social environment. And so when she is in your presence, when she says to herself that she wants to be with you, wants to be a part of your life, wants to be a part of your program, she will change her behaviors to meet the standards and demands of the environment that she's in. So that's why as men, we're the leaders. We have to create the environment of success. We have to create, and the environment is in the mind.
Sure.
You understand? The environment is in the mind. It's how you see yourself. So if you see yourself as a low quality bum, then that's how you're going to see yourself. And that's going to be the quality of people that you're going to attract. When you see yourself as a successful person, you're the champion of your identity. You understand what you require and what you you're headed for better things. You have a mind full of ideas. You have ambition. You have confidence. You have certain other things where you understand your value and what you bring to a community, and you have the ability to lead not only yourself, but you have the ability to lead a woman. You have the ability to lead a family. You have the ability to lead a group of men. You have the ability to take on that responsibility and understand the importance of it. When you show that woman your standards, it is up to her to change her behavior to meet those standards. You understand? But she won't be able to do that unless those standards are put in place.
They have to exist.
Exactly, because a lot of people think that what we're talking about sometimes is manipulation, or we're tricking a woman to submit. You understand? And nobody out here is tricking women to do anything. When a woman goes to get your plate, you understand? It's because she understands something. It's not because you're forcing her to do it.
Facts.
You understand? When shout out to Mr. 1950. When I choke a bitch, it's not because I'm bringing her pain. It's because I'm bringing her pleasure.
Yeah. Listen,
that's what y'all don't understand. Y'all think we really got, Lord, I'm going to put my foot on the neck of this bitch to force her to do what I want me. No. Guess what? She wants me to put my foot on her neck
Yeah.
Because she knows what kind of man that foot is connected to. You think another average dude in the street could just come put his foot on her neck? No, she's gonna be like,
And another thing, Miles,
foot on my neck. That foot is the one I want on my neck. That hand is the one I want squeezing my throat in the middle of the night when I'm. Go ahead, 50. You got it.
I'm surprised.
The 4 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, is also the makeup of man. So when you're talking about earth, right? You're talking about the physical body. You got to care about that, your own as well as hers, right? The wind is the spirit, which is the breath. So the Bible says, and he formed man out of the dust of the earth. That's number 1. And then he breathed the breath of life into man. That's the spirit. The third part that it doesn't say is that the mind never sleeps. The mind is always flowing like water. In fact, the brain sits in liquid. See, so the mind or consciousness is always flowing. So that's the water. Right? And then the 4th element is her soul. And if you are the right man in her life, you are equipped to help her to evolve in all 4 aspects of herself.
Oh my God.
That's the key. Yeah.
And so I think a lot of guys don't know the real essence. And so while you complaining about her, you don't realize that your true nature of what you're doing, like you just said, is to develop her on all 4 levels.
All 4
what
levels.
happens is we have too many of us, I'm guilty, I've been there, who only want to develop in one area.
Yeah.
In the bedroom, which is good. You need to develop that area, but you have not developed her in any other area. And this is the key. When you develop her in any other all the other areas, and if she decides to go, she will never forget the touch of a real potter.
Exactly. And that's the key. That's the key. And within man, let me take it a step further. Within man is 4 characteristics or aspects of himself that he needs to build in order to be able to sow into those 4 aspects of her. We all know about provider. Man got to provide. We all know that part. We know about protector. But it's 2 other aspects of a man, a development, right, that he needs to bring online in order to service her. So there's protector, there's provider. Number 3 is what's called the eagle. Because the eagle sits on high and has a long, broad scope of everything that's ahead. So his ability to plan ahead by using his eagle eye to be able to see afar out. A man does not just plan for good, he plans for war, he plans for positive and negative. You see what I'm saying? So that's your eagle archetype. And then finally, and this is something you rarely hear men talk about.
Here we go.
There is a healer archetype inside of you too. And the healer inside of you, right, can address those things in the areas of her life where she needs healing. And that's not just physical. That's not just your turmeric and your this and all of the herbs. I'm talking about spiritual healing, as well as her womb. But a man has to understand that until he has all 4 aspects of himself online, right? The master masculine, there you go. Right, Master Yao Niyamiki Morris. He wrote a book called Awakening the Master Masculine. Once you bring all of those 4 aspects of yourself online, now you're able to address the 4 aspects of her being. body, mind, spirit, and soul.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times when I enter a woman's life, I enter her in a transitional period. She don't even know why she chose me, but she's coming maybe out of a religious understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had Christians, Muslims, you know what I'm saying? You can mix it up because I'm spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But when she comes into my life, or I come into hers, or we cross paths,
Mm-hmm.
I'm there to help her to understand what she thought she knew on a completely different level.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I'm taking the vessel that she was and I'm breaking it up so that it can be properly put back together again. She don't even know why she chose me. She thought I was there to hit that thing and the hell out of here. Pimps don't put that on no pedestal. You know what I'm saying? We can get to those levels, but let me throw this in there.
Mm-hmm.
A woman can't even have the highest level of orgasm until she brings the right chakra online when she has sex.
Mm.
And that ain't her lowest chakras. I ain't gonna even tell you what it is. We can chop it up, but she needs to bring a higher aspect of her chakras online before she can even have a full sexual experience.
Mm.
So I need to deal with all of those aspects of her in order for her to even have a full orgasm.
Mm-hmm.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Eli Talks TV. I'm back with another video. I'm gonna cut it short. I'm gonna get straight to the point. In this video, I'll be talking about gender wars. This war against man and woman. And we see it throughout social media. We see it throughout women and what they're saying on social media. We see it throughout men and what they're saying on social media. This is all concluding to what that's why we say don't fall victim to Satan and his devices. This is a device. Social media is a device that's being used by Satan to divide men and women. You see what I'm saying? And it's causing separation in families. It's causing separation in communities. It's causing separation in this nation. Because if Satan can attack the man and get the man out of the picture, then he can get the woman vulnerable, just like Eve. Just like when Eve was alone and Satan would talk to her, he can get the woman vulnerable enough to think that, okay, I don't need a man. I'm self-sufficient. I am the beneficiary of my own world. This man, I don't really need him like that. You understand me? And that's good for Satan, because like if I can get her by herself, she's already emotional. So if she's already an emotional being, I can tug on and pull on those emotions through social media, through TikToks and all that, through YouTube, whatever it is. And I can get her to submit to my will, because the man is the covering. If we take the man out the equation, the women no longer having a covering. The man acts as a covering, so that can be dangerous. That's why you see more child abductions, more rapes going on within men and women, because these women have no covering. You see what I'm saying? And that's dangerous for them, because it's like, what happens when all of the strong men, these men with righteousness, these men that know some type of knowledge, these men that follow a paradigm, these men that are not necessarily weak, but they're good men, what happens to them if they're taken out the equation? If they are no longer needed, if they are no longer of value, what happens to them? They move forward, they move along. Eventually they go off to different races. Eventually they'll go off to different sources because they feel like they're not appreciated. Same goes for women. The good women feel like they're not appreciated because they feel like everything that I do, everything that I have tried to do for a man went undervalued. So then what happens? You see it in the dating market right now. Most women, even the women that I've talked to, are broken. They have been broken. They've been broken to a T. You see what I'm saying? And it makes it harder for the next man to get to that woman because she's been broken. She has so many barriers and trust issues, and her guard is up and it's off the wall because that man did her wrong. And you may be coming as a good man, right? You may be coming as the source to her problems, but she doesn't trust you enough for that. She doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Or she doesn't respect you enough for that. So she doesn't open up. And so the relationship may not go nowhere. Or you may not open up because you've been hurt in the past. And the relationship may not go nowhere. Or y'all both connect and y'all connect through really emotional trauma. And that creates a toxic connection because it's not built on healthy foundation, on a healthy foundation, right? So most relationships nowadays are not it's not healthy. It's not built on a healthy foundation. That's why people are falling out in marriages. That's why people are falling out with each other. That's why people are falling out with one another because the dynamic, the roles have been switched. The roles have been switched. The men have become more weaker and feminine. The women have become more masculine and independent. These men are more codependent than ever nowadays, and it's ridiculous. I say that to say this. We got to get to the point where we are no longer shifting the blame towards other people for our mistakes and our past mistakes and our past history. That has nothing to do with the next man. That has nothing to do with the next woman. You need to let that go in order to heal. You cannot heal if you are not willing to let go of mistakes that somebody caused on you or mistakes that you caused on somebody else. But what you can do, right, is take accountability. Step up to it. Step up to what you done. Step up to what you did. Take accountability for what you did and be better. You understand me? How can you be better if you're not willing to at least acknowledge where you went wrong? A lot of people, this generation is not acknowledging where they're going wrong within the man and the woman dynamic. They're just blaming it on each other. They're just pointing and shifting the blame towards that person or this person or that person. There could be issues right within of that man or that woman that is caused from childhood trauma that has nothing to do with you, but that childhood trauma is placed on you because they never figured that out for themselves. You see what I'm saying? Because they never figured that out for themselves. And so it'll play in the relationship and it'll tie it down. Because here you are trying to figure out, why is this woman going off on me like this? Why is this woman acting this way? Why is he acting this way towards me? Why is he not reciprocating love towards me? Well, it's because of his background with his parents, maybe one parent in the household, or maybe, you know, certain relationships that he had or certain relationships that she had that didn't bring her the love or the protection that they needed at that time. You see, it goes very deep into why we are acting the way that we acted, but it also resorts in the roles of reverse roles. I made a video about that a long time ago, and it's at 2K or something like that. It's up there. But I made a video about that. The roles have been reversed. These roles have been reversed in our society, and we're wondering why this society is so chaotic. Because if it's divine function, if we are in our divine function, masculinity, femininity, then we can go towards building a foundation, building a future. If we are not in our divine function, if we are not in our divinity, masculinity-wise for men, femininity-wise for women, then we will not be able to go nowhere. Because nobody is in the right role. Everybody wants to be masculine and feminine. Everybody wants to be feminine and masculine. It don't work like that. You need to fall under submission, you see what I'm saying, in your role. In whatever role that is. For you men out there, be masculine. For women out there, be feminine. Nobody is forcing you to be more than what you are. You don't even like to be all the way masculine. You know you don't. You see what I'm saying? For men, you don't even like to be all the way emotional. It's okay to be emotional at times. It's okay to express yourself, but don't get it to the point where you're just so expressive to the point where you can't be that rock that she needs. Because you need to be a rock, my man. If you ain't that rock, then she gonna move on. You see what I'm saying? And you can't gain her by material possessions either. You have to be that man for her. You have to know thyself as a man. you have to know who you are as a man. You see what I'm saying? She has to know who she is as a woman. And a lot of people don't know who they are. You will be surprised how many people are just faking their confidence, faking who they are. That false self, that false identity, that mask. Everybody wearing a mask now. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody pretending to be something that they are not. Meanwhile, it's killing them on the inside because they know that's not who they are. They want to, most of these, man, look, most of these women want to cry on your shoulder at night. Most of these men want some woman to love them because they've been hurt so bad. They get tired of sleeping from woman to woman, or, you know, a woman get tired of saying fuck niggas and this and that and being self-destructive towards herself. They get tired of it. You know what I'm saying? This generation gonna get tired of self-destroying themselves and painting this false image of themselves while projecting it on other people because they don't know themselves. At some point, they gonna get tired of that. You see what I'm saying? It's gonna either cause for more division or it's gonna cause for somebody gonna have to give up. Somebody gonna have to be like, you know what, wave the flag. You see what I'm saying? This needs to stop. But the man comes in first. It's not up to the woman to make that decision. She's gonna always be, you know, in her feelings and stuff like that. But that's for the man to step up and make that decision. But how many men are stepping up and making the decision to have a unified relationships, you know what I'm saying, within men and women? There's a lot out there that's trying. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot out there that's trying. But we need the women to cooperate and coexist and be able to put down their pride and egos and be like, okay, you know what, let's come to a mutual agreement. You are the man here, so let me listen to what you got to say and see if you are leading me in the right direction. A lot of you women are taking the wrong direction and the wrong advice from the wrong niggas. And y'all get mad and pointing at the right niggas because you've been hurt so bad in your past. It has nothing to do with me. You see what I'm saying? You need to leave that with him. You see what I'm saying? I might be the answer to your prayer, but you are willing to push me to the side because that man pushed you to the side. That's not right. But with little communication, I can never help you fix that issue. See what I'm saying? With little communication between men and women, we cannot help fix each other. We cannot help heal each other because the communication is not there. Everybody is acting like brainless children, and everybody wants to be right. That's what we have right nowadays. Everybody wants to be right. This narcissistic, self-entitled generation wants to be right. Everybody wants, men and women they just want to be right. Nobody wants to come to a mutual agreement. So this is going to cause for gender wars. This is going to cause for war against man and woman, and it's your fault, and no, it's their fault. And it's, you see what I'm saying? No recollection, no type of purpose. And what we're doing is just everybody's just swapping bodily fluids and lying to each other, manipulating each other, and putting and self-projecting on each other. This is what you see in this generation. Now, now what I would say at the end of all this, at the end of saying all this, I want to make this very short and sweet and simple because it's very hot out here. But I would say this as a solution. We need to figure out the traumas in which men and women are going through right now. We need to sit down with each other, and we have to have conversations of intellect. We have to have conversations of secrets and all that. People who keep secrets away from each other. We need to open up completely to people who we can trust and have shown that we can trust them. Don't open up to just anybody just because you feel like you can. No, you need to know if you can trust them or not. If you cannot trust that person, do not open up. You see what I'm saying? But we need to sit down, have these talks, talk with one another, figure out each other's emotional baggage and traumas, and see where we can go from there and help feed. I'm talking about feed, affirm each other. You see what I'm saying? You affirm each other. If it can happen with you two, if it can happen with just two, if it can happen through marriage, then the whole world would take accountance to that and start to see that and be like, you know what, I want to model that. The only reason why the world is the way it is because they're modeling, we are modeling the wrong thing. We are modeling the wrong things right now. We are looking up to the wrong artists. We are looking up to the wrong people to get our manhood from. We're looking up to the wrong men to get our manhood from. Women, y'all are looking up to the wrong women to get your womanhood from. Y'all are asking 304s how to be a fucking wife. You're asking 3 or 4 how to keep and please your fucking man. They don't know how to keep and please a fucking man. They lose one every goddamn time to get one. I'm just being honest with you. You see what I'm saying? They lose them eventually. What's pleasure if goddamn it causes for that man to be mentally fucked up. Eventually he gonna go on to what's more peaceful. That's why you see a lot of these black men go to these white women, because that's their home. They feel more at peace. They feel like they are respected. They feel like they are appreciated with those women, because those women show a base of femininity that they have never experienced in their life. That's why they do it. Women, for y'all, a lot of these women, they stop dealing with some of you suckers, or they deal with more so some of you suckers because it's all that they know. A lot of their lives has been of pain. So this pain has really just, it's a familiarity to it. They're familiar to pain. So it's hard for them to get out these relationships and get out these cycles with these men that are toxic, because that's all that they are used to. That's all that they know. You see what I'm saying? Now, if everybody can confront their toxic patterns and their toxic cycles and move forward and take accountability for their toxic cycles and patterns and be able to recognize it and kill it at the base, and then work with each other on each other's toxic emotional patterns and have these deep conversations and thoughts of conversations, then we can move forward and we can seek change. But we cannot seek change if we are continuously pointing the finger and no one's being accountable for their actions. Everybody wants to be right. Mrs. Right, Mr. Right. Who the hell is gonna sit there and be like, you know what, this is fucked up, this is wrong. If we keep going, if we keep doing this bullshit, it's gonna drive this damn generation fucking wild. And everybody is going to be hating each other. Everybody's gonna be killing each other. Everybody's gonna be fighting each other. Why? Because this false narrative that's been painted on the men and women in this generation is causing them to be calloused and cold-hearted. The Bible talked about this in Revelations as well. A lot of people have a cold heart towards each other and towards themselves, and it shows in the way that it shows in the way that we treat each other. It shows in the way that we approach each other. It shows in the way that we interact with each other. You cannot tell me that you love yourself if you are continuously hurting other people. You cannot tell me that you love yourself if you are continuously gossiping and talking about other people. You cannot tell me that you love yourself if you are doing toxic things towards your body and toxic things towards the people around you. You cannot tell me that you love yourself if you are toxic to yourself and you cannot reaffirm yourself and reaffirm the people around you and have them be inspired by who you are as an individual, not as a person that you fake on Snapchat, not as a person that you fake on Instagram, not as a person that you fake on the app. We got to be real in real life. You see what I'm saying? Ain't nobody real in real life. Everybody want to be fake. Everybody want to be perceived as real. Ain't nobody really real for real. Ain't nobody really rooted and grounded in who they are. That's real. That's keeping the G. That's being gangster. Nigga, are you who you say you are? And do you show up as that every day? Man and woman. I don't care who I'm talking to right now. Man or woman. Are you showing up as that boss bitch? Are you showing up as that king that you say you are? Are you showing up as that queen that you say you are? Are you showing up as that in the world? And does it reflect in how you treat yourself? Does it reflect in who you see yourself as who God sees yourself as? Everybody says they're a king and they're a queen nowadays, and they don't carry themselves like that. You see what I'm saying? They're not even carrying themselves like that. You can't tell me that and be posted up at the club. Men, you can't tell me that and simp for these, be simping and tricking, my nigga. You can't tell me that. And you ain't got no sense of worth of firstly God, because God is the one who's gonna crown you, not yourself. What you think, you gonna crown yourself? You're not gonna crown yourself. You're not gonna be able to crown yourself. It don't work like that. So that's just a positive, well, I try to be as real as can be to this topic, because it's something that's really irking my nerves. It's something that I'm getting really annoyed by, because a lot of people in this generation are going through this. And a lot of people are going around faking for the people just to make it seem like they're happy. This is the false narrative, the false piece that I talk about. Everybody has a false sense of self. They're walking around this bad boy, and really they are depressed as hell. They want to have mental breakdowns, and they want to go in the corner and fucking cry somewhere because they're not satisfied with themselves. They're not satisfied with their life. We need to step up in life, we need to step up and be real with ourselves first. You cannot be real with people if you're not willing to be real with yourself, man. Be real with yourself first. Because people can tell when you're faking, man. That mask gonna fall off. Man or woman, I'm telling you. Man or woman, whoever I'm talking to in this video, I'm talking to myself as well. That mask will fall off and people will see you for who you really are. But if you can stand up for who you really are, if you can stand up and be like, this is who I am, and this is who I belong to, and you can be rooted and grounded in that, man, people can't tell you nothing. They can't tell you nothing. What they gonna tell you? What they gonna tell you? They can lie on you. They can lie on you. They can betray you. They can play games. They can manipulate you. But guess what? You're gonna always win. Why? Because you are rooted and grounded on a foundation that cannot be rocked. These people have false foundations, and sooner or later it's gonna fall because it's salty. But anyway, I'm gonna end it off right there. Hopefully y'all got the message. Be blessed by it. Have a good day, and gain something from this video, because it needs to be heard and it needs to be shared. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm out this bad boy. Y'all have a blessed day. Deuces.